Hello, everybody. I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish, French, and Japanese out here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and I love to experiment with stuff. I'm experimenting with the Harvard Project Zero thinking routines at the moment. And if you want to discuss them with me and help me bounce ideas off of people, come see me at studio-nemo.com or the Duolingo Educators Network or the Minecraft Education Ambassadors. We're still in the section digging deeper into ideas, and today we are working on Peel the Fruit. Link in the description. This thinking routine also occurs in introducing and exploring ideas. This is a routine for tracking and guiding understanding. It's a concept map. It's meant to help students visualize where they are in the learning process. So you're either going to have to donate some wall space to it, which is hard for me because I teach 3 languages in my classroom and my real estate on the walls is very precious. Or you can give students a copy to write on themselves. So usually I'll pass out a photocopy of whatever fruit we're using and colored pencils also. And you're supposed to spend about a week on this graphic organizer. It depends on how long your unit is. Harvard Project Zero says, put some version of the map up, see the example below, see the diagram below, but they don't actually include a map or a diagram. So use your favorite fruit with a thick peel, or better yet, a culturally appropriate fruit, because that way you can start discussing some of the culture and the food. Generally, the skin of the fruit is supposed to represent the surface details. Maybe the things the students notice on a cursory glance. So here, let's label that, okay? Under the skin is supposed to be getting under the skin and unearthing the mysteries. Let's go ahead and label that right here. And the pulp of the fruit is supposed to be a substance of whatever issue you're talking about. And I like to choose a sectional fruit, maybe like an orange or a star fruit or a horn melon or something so you can hop around to different aspects of the substance. Especially if you let your students choose the different aspects, then it gets kind of fun to hop around to it. And hey, you guys chose to talk about this and everything. And eventually you're supposed to get to the core, which is the main idea. You'll put that in the middle, the main thrust. You know, I think Harvard Project Zero missed a big possibility here. They don't talk about the seeds. I think the seeds should be germinations of new ideas or maybe the beginnings of the next unit that are naturally going to spring from the unit that you're working on. Now, honestly, this is maybe my least favorite thinking routine of Harvard Project Zero because I have another one that I like better. I saw Dr. James Nottingham at a Firefly conference years ago, and he said everything boils down to 3 questions. What is my goal? How much progress have I made? And what are my next steps? So I have my students fill out a graphic equalizer with those 3, and I find I get much more bang for my buck. And it's not quite the left turn that here's a fruit, let's fill it in and then try to map back to what we're doing in class. This is a little more concrete for the students, I think. I'll do another episode in a different series. I'll talk about the Piaget theories of childhood development and how they relate to learning language and all my theories about that. At any rate, when you're teaching grammar explicitly, don't shy away from teaching grammar explicitly because I think if our students can take advantage of that pattern recognition, they'll learn faster. So if you've got a pop-up grammar lesson, you're using the grammar translation method, you're doing the audiolingual method, and you're looking at transformation drills, you're doing community language learning, and you're dissecting a script your class wrote, or you're working straight out of your textbook, you can ask the students how solid they feel on a skill that they're working on, okay? For example, here I've got matching adjectives to nouns and gender and number, all right? So maybe your students are going to choose to write for the peel. Spelling is hard. I hate when they say that, but they will say it. Or it looks confusing at first. I'm glad they put the at first there. That was good. Or hopefully I'm hopeful that they'll say, I noticed that there's different forms depending on words around it. Okay? That's for Romance languages, of course. For just under the skin, they might write, where do adjectives go? Or how can I tell if a noun is masculine or feminine? Let's put that right under the skin. Obviously, I would normally draw arrows here. For the pulp, they might write adjectives describe nouns, so the adjective has to describe if a noun is singular, plural, masculine, or feminine. And if you have a section fruit, the students might choose to divide up the patterns that they see. They might say, these adjectives get an S in the plural. Here, let's put out rouge and petit. And these adjectives get an AUX, loyal, national. You can have a concept map on the wall again. You can let the students color in their fruit individually, but again, you're letting the students steer the labeling. You're not saying label this here, label that here. You're let the students choose what they're putting where and how they're describing things. When you're teaching literature, culture, history, or art, or music or food, choose a culturally significant event or topic that you're going to discuss for at least a week, because students are going to be working on this fruit for a week at least. Let the students choose the descriptors of the metaphor. So it's a metaphor. The fruit is a metaphor to whatever you're talking about. And again, I think I have better ways to do that, but it's interesting. It might give me a springboard or something else. Like I said, I like to experiment. And this might germinate, if I can say for seeds, might germinate an idea in my head for something else. In our next episode, we are projecting across distance. Hope to see you there.